Hi, Ina Eagles. This is your teacher, Miss McVeigh, and today we're going to be working on subtracting with zeros, and we're going to be modeling it. So let's get started. All right? So the first thing I want to do is set up a chart. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4 place value columns, so I need 4 in my chart. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4. I have 4 columns. The next thing I want to do is I want to label the columns. And so since we have the highest place value is thousands, this one here is going to represent the 1000s. Next is the hundreds. This column will represent the hundreds. Next is the tens. This will represent the tens. And the last one is the ones. All right? Okay, so I'm going to use black because I'm going to represent the 3006 with the black marker. All right, so I go to my highest place value. It is 3000. So I'm going to make 3 squares that represent 1000 each. So 1, 2, 3. So that's 3000. So I have my 3000 represented. Next, I go to my hundreds. As you can see, it's a 0. So I'm not going to put anything in there because I do not have any hundreds in this digit. Next, I go to my tens, and it's a 0 too. So I'm not going to put anything in my tens. The last is the ones, and you can see I have 6 of them. So I'm going to make 6 ones here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So there I have my 3006 represented in models, 3006. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to use a different color marker because I'm subtracting this 1788 out of the 3006. So I want to represent it in a different color. Okay, so I go to my highest place value, it's 1000. So I am making 1 square for 1000. Next, I go to my hundreds, and I can see it's a 7. So I want to make 7 100s or 700. I'm going to make the squares slightly smaller since it represents hundreds. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. My 700 is represented. Next, I go to my tens column, and I have 8 tens or 80, and so I'm going to make 8 10 rods. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So there I have my 80 represented. Next, I'm going to my ones, and as you can see, I have 8 ones. So I'm going to make 8 ones here. All right. So now I have the number that I'm subtracting in models represented on the bottom. I left space in between here because I'm going to have to do regrouping because there isn't anything in my hundreds or my tens place. All right? So I'm going to use another color since I'm regrouping. And when you're regrouping, you remember you always want to go to your highest place value and pull from that. So I'm going to go to my thousands, and I'm going to take one of my thousands and break it down into hundreds. So I'm taking this and I'm essentially moving it over to the hundreds. Okay, so 10 times 100 makes 1000. So I'm going to make 10 100 boxes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. So there I have my 1000 represented now in the hundreds column. All right? Since I don't have anything to tens, I'm going to have to pull from the hundreds. So I'm already going to use one of these, and it's going to move over here. And 10 times 10 is 100. So I'm going to make 10 rods. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So there I have my 10 that I pulled out of the hundreds represented in tens now. The next thing I want to do is, I see I already have some ones here, so I'm just going to go back and start subtracting. So when you have everything lined up, you want to go back to your ones place value position and start subtracting. So I'm subtracting 8, but you can see I only have 6. So I'm still going to have to regroup again. So I'm taking one of these, and now I'm making 10 ones over here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. You can see I'm outside. That was my dogs, Carolina and Dakota, chasing the squirrel on the wire up there. All right, back to this. Okay, so I have 8, and I'm going to subtract 8 from 16, essentially, because I took one of those 10s and I put it with the 6 I already have. So 6 and 10 is 16. So I want to cross out 8 of them because that's what I'm taking away. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So then I count what I have left over. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So my answer in the ones is 8. Next I go to my 10s, and I have 8 here that I need to subtract out of the 9 that's left over. And I can do that because 9 is a larger number than 8. So let's cross out 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And I still have something left over, which is 1, so I put that down here. Next, I go to my hundreds, and I'm subtracting 7, and as you can see, I have 9 left over. So I'm going to cross out 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And that means I have 2 left over. Okay, and then the last, you can see I have 2,000 up here, and I'm only subtracting 1, so I'm crossing that out. And so my answer is 1,218. And since I know you're one of my students, you're going to want to use inverse operation to check it, because that's what we do when we add or subtract. We use the opposite operation. In this case, we're going to be adding because we were subtracting. So I'm going to take my 1,218 and I'm going to add my lower number in my problem, and it should come up to the higher number. 1,788. I'm going to add it. I'm just going to use the standard algorithm for addition on this. 8 plus 8 is 16. I regroup. 1 plus 1 is 2. 2 and 8 is 10. I regroup again. 1 and 2 is 3. 3 and 7 is 10. I regroup again. I have 1 plus 1 is 2. 2 and 1 is 3. So my answer is 3,006. And that's what I was hoping for, so I did my math correctly. Okay, if you would like to try this at home and bring the work tomorrow to school, that would be great. So I'm going to give you one problem to try. So we'll have 5,005, and I want you to subtract 2,866 from it, all right? So that's your math problem to try at home. Bring it to school tomorrow, and we'll see if you set it up with the chart, you did your inverse operation, and it all checks out. Thanks. See you tomorrow. Bye.